Today we're talking about strengths and weaknesses. In new athlete, everyone has to face, or everyone has the opportunity to face areas that they've never worked in before. Maybe they felt embarrassed about before. Maybe they felt like they're just physically incapable or not made for something. But they also have the chance to bring forward the best of what they have. So, what would you say your biggest strength is athletically at the moment?
At the moment, my biggest strength is definitely like bodyweight strength, especially handstands and acrobatics. Just being able to flip around and move on different surfaces and balance and jump around and be creative with my own body and how I move in space. I think that's my biggest strength.
Where's that going to go? Like, what's your excitement about it at the moment? What's the direction of it? Something you're excited about in that area right now?
Honestly, like ever since I started doing it, I just enjoy the feeling of it, the feeling of being able to fly in a way and jump and the way it looks when I watch my videos of doing new tricks and unlocking new possibilities for what my body can do. It just excites me, and that's what keeps me going, and that's what keeps me coming back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas?
My biggest strength is definitely my mobility, and I would also say my body awareness. It goes hand in hand somehow. Most of the things I pick up quite fast because of it, um, but I definitely have to work on on the other side of the force production and also on the explosiveness um, to combine everything together.
Yeah.
What about you, Keegan?
Yeah, for me at the moment, probably the biggest strength would be the juggling. Something that I've worked on for longer than most people, and they haven't done it before. So maybe it's easier to stand out in that. But yeah, I got a new best on the 3 ball in one hand this week. 5 ball still going okay. Haven't really pushed it ahead a lot recently, but it's still probably biggest area of strength. Then facing something new, stepping into unknown or an area that you haven't worked on before, like what would be the area for you at the moment?
I think the biggest area of improvement for me is any kind of ball sport. Like I've never really played team sports. Like I've always been an athlete who excelled and was excited about individual sports. So ball sports in particular, and also putting that into teamwork, like playing with others and try to collaborate within the sport. I think that's my biggest area for improvement that I haven't explored at all throughout my years of training.
And how is it like stepping into that? What are you experiencing? Is it uh, yeah? Are you intimidated by it, or is it
I was intimidated, but the more I sort of think about it and surround myself with you guys and other brothers that are joining us, I get more excited about the new possibilities that unlock within it. Like now I'm just thinking, just we've been playing with the soccer ball here for a good half an hour, and I remember all my old friends from high school. They were super into soccer, and I never wanted to play with them because like I don't like soccer. I just gonna go do my handstands in the corner. And now I feel like I could actually join them. And if I keep pushing, not only my specialty, but keep pushing at these other disciplines, I feel like, you know, going into my mid to late 20s, most people stop training. I feel like, it would be interesting to see where I stand against my friends in soccer that were so much better than me that I didn't even want to play with them when I next meet with them.
yeah? Lucas?
You repeat the question, pushing into my weaknesses.
Yeah, what's the new zone for you that you're taking
I
on?
mean, I mean, right now it's probably the Olympic weightlifting, but also with you being here, Marcel, it's also the acrobatics. I think these go hand in hand because both require a decent amount of explosiveness. And when I work on both at the same time, I feel like I'm gonna reach these goals of being more explosive, having more this drive. Because with the acrobatics, you have like a mission more than with the weightlifting even. Like you have to get over yourself or like spin in the air.
Yeah.
And this pushes you to like really be there with your nervous system and put strength and force into the ground. And yeah, the weightlifting obviously will help with that. Already the few snatch sessions we did here, like I had my first 3 to 4 sessions, I would say. Like it really taught me like how to use my arms when I jump, for example. That's really valuable and it has only started yet. So
Yeah. Yeah. For me at the moment, the biggest thing is probably like the acrobatics side of things. Whenever doing something with Marcel, it's pretty much always challenge. Even though I've done some backflips this year and I've done them in the past, it's still like working towards being able to do that consistently. And every time we start doing it, it's a little bit more comfortable, but it's still really new. And then the dance kind of side of things, like the foot coordination, timing, I'm getting more comfortable with the idea, but it's still really new. The basketball's also been a new one for me over the last 2 months or so. I've played with the basketball at least a few times a week, and it was really bad at the start as well. And it's like, yeah, it's sort of like, because the vision within you athlete is like you want to be an all-rounder, you should be good at everything. So then you know, if I'm starting the thing, I feel like there's a responsibility, but it's still, just because I can juggle or because I can do something else, there's still, it only helps. It doesn't solve the thing for you. Mm-hmm. So if I'm playing basketball, like it's still going to be new, but my hands are more ready to adapt because they're making multiple catches per second, and they're very sensitive to pressure and reacting. And it's very similar with the basketball, but then you still have to practice with the downward pressure. So I'm pretty sure that I'm picking it up faster than I would otherwise, like at 42, and I've never really played it before. But yeah, there's always still that little voice of like, oh, I don't know if I'm really better than I was a week ago, and you know, like, I don't know how far I'm going to get with this, and it's like it's still going to be kind of embarrassing if I go and play with, you know, Ben Patrick or guys who've played a lot. Like, I'm still going to be terrible. I'm still going to miss the ball on like one of these moves. So there's still always that little bit of like the doubting voice. On the other side, there's an inherent joy in like, okay, this is working better than it was working a month ago, or better than it was working sometimes like 5-10 minutes ago. Which do you find more rewarding? Because it's kind of a different feeling of doing the thing that you're already good at and having that feeling of like, yeah, this is smooth in my nervous system, and I'm like high output here, like 3-ball juggling in one hand or 5-ball juggling. You can really feel like, woo, like everything's on. And then it's a different feeling with the, I don't know if I could do this, and then, oh yeah, it's kind of working better.
I mean, with me being good at mobility, it's kind of boring because like I invest the least amount of time now in mobility. It's not really like the acrobatic stuff. It's not really like a skill. I mean, you have to put in a lot of effort, but it was more like a byproduct of how I was training in the past. So right now, this opens up a lot of movement possibilities for me. But I'm at a stage right now where I have to explore so many new different things that I find something like you with the mobility, with the acrobatics, that you have like your sport. Like mobility is not a sport. It's like, it's a good feat to have, but it's not really something. Oh, I'm gonna do my mobility session 3 hours a day. Like I'm looking forward to it. It's like I invest the least amount of time in that in my training. So I think you can answer the question better.
It's interesting. It's interesting question to think about. But with the acrobatics, the harder it gets, the more effort you need to put into drilling that move and thinking about it and finding different progressions and wow, that's a hard word to say.
Prerequisites or
Prerequisites. Yeah, prerequisites for for making it work. And then also you need the right environment to practice the trick safely, because it's very dangerous, and you can get hurt very easily. But with the things like with like soccer or basketball, or even the juggling what we're talking about, or swinging the bats and playing the tennis, like you don't need any warm up for it. You don't need special mindset when you're coming into the session, and you don't really need to prepare for it. You just pick up the thing and you start doing it, and you can do it for 5 minutes and then finish, and yeah, nothing happens. But going to acrobatics, it's yeah, it's much more dedicated, and it requires a lot more sort of focus and plan coming into it. You can play and you can explore. Like there's two versions of it as well. Like you can either explore and play with the movements you already know, and sort of play with the easy stuff in a way,
Yeah.
or you can try to push the level further. And there's no ceiling to it. Like no one is like, I can't really say who is the best one in the world, because the level just keeps going up. Like people keep inventing new tricks and new variations, and landing the double backflips in a precision and on a specific box, and it's yeah, it's crazy to the level that it gets to. And I kind of strayed away from the question. What was the question again?
No, I think you answered the question at the start. It's like, where are you getting the most joy, or what's the sensation that you're having when you're pursuing the thing that you've already developed to a higher level, versus when you're stepping into this something new that you never really done before? You can feel it getting better. They're very different things, but it's true. Like every skill kind of has its own emotional tone. Weightlifting has a different tone to acrobatics, and a different tone to soccer.
Yeah, like the enjoyment within acrobatics for me, I think for most people as well, is pushing that next level. Like if you're just stuck doing the same thing, it's not as exciting, it's not as fun anymore. And if you don't see yourself progressing, you sort of lose that spark for to keep going. And yeah, but I think, just with these ball sports, like it's fun to just have that extra thing to train that doesn't really tire you and fatigue your body any extra. You can just sprinkle extra movement throughout your day, and yeah, especially if you're working on the computer, and you can actually afford to take a break for 5-10 minutes, it can be a really nice reset in your day, and push your mind and body into a better state.
So some tips around making that progression, some of the things to look for. We did a bunch of skills there today.
Yeah.
Can you think of some of the techniques or things that I was encouraging you towards? We haven't really discussed what we were doing there, but
Yeah.
there were some things that I was using in the way I was coaching you, or not necessarily coaching, but just like guiding.
Yeah, changing the variation, like every minute changing what you're doing. Like if I put it into example with the juggling, like I feel like that was really valuable. Like when I'm doing it myself, I'm kind of keep repeating the same pattern, and then maybe I try a different pattern, but I haven't really thought about it from the perspective of like, oh, juggle the balls really high and then juggle the balls really low and then go really wide, and like just changing that variation and variation of the balls as well, like the weight of the balls, and adding the clapping, and yeah, in a span of 5 minutes, I did like 5-6 variations, and then the 5 ball juggling, I was like surprising myself how many times I was catching it, and
How many have you done in a row before on the 5 ball flash? Do you know?
I think I've done 5, but it took me like a long session. Like I was
Yeah.
juggling maybe for like an hour trying to do the same thing, and that was my best. But now I was kind of getting close to the 5.
Yeah,
in like a
I don't know
very
whether you
short
got
session.
5 or 6 or,
Yeah.
but it was somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And that was just when we went back to it after we were going in the circle.
Yeah.
Can you feel how, like intuitively, that you're going to get better faster with what we did today?
Yeah, definitely.
I could see it 100%. Like I was watching you juggle, and watching most men juggle. Like it's the same actually for everything in life. Is that if you keep doing roughly what you've been doing in the way that you've been doing it, you're gonna just make like tiny little incremental gains.
Yeah.
But because I gave him 5 or probably like 10 different drills
Yeah.
on the edge. We were doing some 3-ball with the clap, 3-ball with the leg slaps. We did the 2 kilo ball, 1.5 kilo ball, 1 kilo ball, like together, and then trying to get the clap with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff, like it wasn't really working. Like it wasn't all perfect.
Yeah.
But because you're learning to be able to solve the puzzle in many different ways, when you go back to the original puzzle or the puzzle that you care about most, you've got more solutions that you've worked on. And so your training went beyond a lot of what you need for the original puzzle. And so the original puzzle gets solved faster. And I think Marcel will see, if he does even just that same kind of block 3 or 4 more times, I think he's going to get 10 throws on the 5-ball juggle in the next 3 days, in the next week. Like, it's going to break through to the next level. But we almost always need either someone else to encourage it, or like to keep reminding yourself of like, don't settle into the groove of like, oh, this is how I practice my juggling. Like,
Yeah. Like, I knew it before. You keep talking about it, and I watched the videos, and I tried to apply it. But then every time I kind of just, I really want to get the 5-ball, and I didn't really know all the drills for the 5 balls that are as related as you showed me today. And it was like, I've been training it since Vanuatu. It's been like 4 months,
Yeah.
and I haven't really made that much progress. I made some progress, but it feels really slow. And the slower it feels, the less motivated you are to train it.
yeah.
And today, like, I really felt like, wow, this was like big breakthrough in the session. Like, it just felt like I could see the balls.
Yeah, good. Yeah. There's a bit of the Goggins mentality that a lot of men will bring to it. Like, sometimes people even push back of like, look, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to do this. I'm just going to persist with it until I get it. But it's kind of stupid like to think like, why would you use a method that's really inefficient and be stuck with 3-ball juggling for 2 years when you could use that exact same amount of time if you get your brain out of bed, if you like use better learning technique, you could be at 5 balls or beyond in 2 years time. And you could have so many things, or you could train half as much and do soccer at the same time and get further in both of them. Like, it doesn't make sense to just, I'm just going to muscle it out. Like, don't talk to me. Like, you also had to deal with, and I don't know how you were dealing with it. Like, was there some frustration of like, oh, he keeps changing it on me. Like, I want to just stay with this drill for a bit and get this one smooth. Like, were you struggling a bit with that, or were you okay with just like, I'm just going to do whatever he says, or how are you thinking?
No, I was really enjoying it, actually. Yeah, it was really fresh breadth of perspective into it. And I mean, at first you were like, show me the 5-ball flashes. I was like, well, now I gotta prove that I've actually been training it, and I know I still suck at it. I hope I really catch the balls today. Yeah, then the variations, and I started catching the balls. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just being here as well and around you and seeing you juggle the 5 balls, I'm like, oh wow, that looks really cool. I really want to be able to do that. That made me want to like try harder and like get really excited about it again. So like getting surrounded by people that have similar goals as well. Like, when I was in my other gym, I was like the only weirdo there juggling my balls, and everybody was looking at me like, what the hell am I doing?
There's a thing of mirror neurons. So mirror neurons is the idea that the brain is mirroring what's in front. You see it really clearly with Eden. Like when I said long one to you when you were doing the handstands, he says long one, and he just said it over and over. He doesn't really know what it means, but he's like adding a new thing to his brain, to his repertoire. And I really wanted you to watch me when I was doing the 5-ball, because I could see like we're going back and forward, like me, you, and your rhythm was a little bit too fast to be ideal. And I was like talking to you about it, but also like you seeing it. There is a thing like that directly, like visually. I also think there's a like the Rupert Sheldrake idea of like the communal mind, in a way that like if the idea is floating around in the room, then it's easier for someone else to grab onto it. And I see it so much that if everyone's doing it, then everyone does it. Like with the backflips and stuff, like it's easier to make the leap when others are doing it. And yeah, that's a really powerful thing that you can't get. It doesn't work as well through the internet either.
Yeah, definitely. Just touching on that point with the thing we have in parkour is when we get to a spot and there's a really scary jump that, you know, maybe someone spots and we really want to do it, but never really seen anyone do it. And like the person that does the jump first, it's always the hardest for them. Like if I'm going second and you've already done it, like it's almost like I've already done it. Like it's so much easier to
Yeah.
be the second because you see it done and you know it's possible.
Is that a thing? Like, do people talk about being the first one versus being the second one? Like,
it's a big thing. Like there's so much more respect to the person that does the jump first. Yeah. Yeah, all credit goes to them.
I feel like to wrap everything up, it's what you talked about a lot also. It's like we learn through difference. Like we have to introduce different aspects and different methods to become better at the thing we want to become better at. Like I have two good examples. I was reaching the 4-ball juggle and I was staying at the 4-ball juggle all the time. So I never improved my juggling from there on. It's like, okay, nice, I have the 4 balls, but to be able to go beyond, I need to introduce a new stimulus. And I never did that. But what I did here with the handstand, and since we've been doing it, I've been improving my handstands a lot and feel like the balance component a lot more. Just like by doing it on different surfaces, like on the weightlifting mats, on softer surfaces, uneven surfaces. One hand is higher than the other, or on the parallels. It's like been a game changer. Like,
have you played with it much with the different surfaces?
A little bit, but not to that depth. I've been playing a lot with different heights.
Yeah.
I've been doing that a lot, but not different
It's really good.
thickness.
but I think through the acrobatics, you're a lot on your hands. Like you know how it feels. Like
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time on your hands. So like your handstand is really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Handstands and acrobatics goes hand in hand. Like
Yeah.
being able to stand on your hands and knowing what the world looks like when you're upside down is gonna help you massively.
Yeah. Okay. You want to wrap it up with we learn through difference or?
Yeah, the same thing that we're talking about with the juggling, and you're introducing there with the handstands, a different surface. The same thing happens on a bigger scale with any skill picking up another skill. So it's easy to see with the baby, when the baby can walk and then the baby climbs, they're using something in between those two things when they go up a steep hill, or like we set this air track up sometimes as a ramp and he's going up it like a little mountain goat. And you see like the two skills coming together. That's happening all the time. So in the same way that we're like, to get you better at juggling, I need to broaden your juggling of like, okay, we need to go over here a little bit with some wider hands and go over here a bit with some heavier balls and go here a bit with like catching the ball that's coming down faster by throwing it up higher.
Yeah.
And then when we come back to the middle again, everything's going to be better. And it's the same thing with the whole philosophy as well. Of like, okay, this guy, he needs a bit more dance. Like he needs to get a bit more like fluid on his feet. And then when we come back to the boxing stuff, he's going to be better. Or needs to be lighter on his feet. Then when you come back to the acrobatics,
Yeah.
he's going to be more sure on his feet.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing happens with everything playing together on a bigger scale. And it's easy to ignore it with an elite athlete and just think, oh, they got it from just playing their sport. But they actually had this richer tapestry of things that made them, you know, who they are. It's not incidental that they can dance or do the flips after they make the big play. It's like, that's why they can make the big play, is because they can do the dance and the flips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this explains really good what new athlete also is. Like the whole system of pulling everything valuable from every sport, every movement, or every ability a human being can have. And like this is our mission right now also with this video, to get the message out. Like this is new athlete. This is the transformation you can go through.
Yeah.
When you're using an app, or even when you're like here in the villages like we are.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like I feel a lot better since I'm training this way. And
What I really love about it is in sports we're so in our groups. Like I'm a parkour guy and I only hang out with the parkour guys, and you are the soccer guy and you only play with the soccer people. And with new athlete, there's so many people from so many different disciplines coming together and sharing the sport and the knowledge and the methods behind the sports, that it really unlocks something that hasn't really been here before. And that's really exciting to see where it's going to go and how it's going to transform athletes and sports in the future.
100%.
It's the thing I wish existed. If you want to get started, you can join the app, $69 a month, no contract, and you get to experience it for yourself. There's follow along workouts, how to go from level 0 to level 1 to level 2 in any of the skills. Come check it out.
Newathletecom.
Newathleteproject.com.
Newathleteproject.com. Link in the description.
All right.
Link in the description.